Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Presents Slasher Party. My name is Sean.
And I'm Missy.
And joining us once again, author extraordinaire Jessica Lacy. Jessica,
Hello.
welcome.
I am so happy to be back here. Let's talk murder.
Let's talk murder. So, episode 5, Hell Motel. This is Jailbait. And this, based on that title, I didn't know what to expect. It wasn't this. So, guys, talk to me. Talk to me about Jailbait. I mean, about the episode titled Jailbait.
I watched it twice yesterday, and the first time the Jailbait title didn't hit me. But when we get to this episode is very Adriana focused, and when we get to her flashback where we see her hooking up with Wyatt the serial killer in jail. Like I'm thinking it's called Jailbait because I think he was her first, not only her first serial killer, but maybe just her first ever.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, it's just a hunch, but I mean, it probably won't get confirmed. But I'm assuming she presented herself as older than she was.
She was supposed to be, I did get the impression she was supposed to be much younger
Mm-hmm.
than we're seeing her in the present day. They didn't really do a great job de-aging her, but the way that the scene was written, it seemed like she was supposed to be very young.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I didn't catch that at all. Okay.
Yeah, so I think she is the Jailbait, and
Not
this,
literally. I don't think she's literally underage, but I think that she's young and thinks that
she's very young.
yeah, she's young and that she's gotten too big for her britches. She just like not prepared for the serial killer, but she thinks she's prepared for the serial killer.
Well, like, what a weird scene because she basically is like, I know you killed her and I don't care. And he's just like, you think I'm a monster? So I'm like, is this guy actually not even like a killer? Like, it was so weird. Like, I'm thinking this guy's in jail and this hot young chick shows up and basically like are conjugal visits a thing? Like I mean it's something that runs through, if you watch movies or it's there, and I'm just like, is that a thing? Like that just seems so
This
weird.
is Canada. This Canada, maybe it is.
It's true. Hey, what's that about? But I mean, like he literally stops having sex with her because he's so reviled at what it looked like. I mean, this is a guy in prison, and he's just like, "Oh, I can't continue." I'm like, wow, that's really
We have talked about the television show You before. I have watched it, y'all have not. That's literally
Right.
the plot. That's literally the plot of You. At some point, the guy who is a serial killer who keeps stalking these women, he meets his match, and the second that somebody kills for him, he's disgusted and wants nothing to do with her. It's hilarious.
wow.
Yeah. It's the whole like second and third season of the show.
This episode was weird. One of my notes that just jumped out at me is serial killer wine. Because they have a mini fridge. So, okay, so we start with the remaining, what is it, 6 people taking in Kawayan's death and then basically starting to turn on Adriana because she makes a bizarre comment like, oh, I don't really mind the smell of death. Like some people don't mind the smell of bleach
The
or
smell of
gasoline.
blood.
Yeah. Oh, blood. That was it. Yes. And so first of all, I'm going to triple down on Blake right now because there's a line where they're talking about this and like Adriana says to him, well, I used to like you. Does that make you a killer? Because this is some great dialogue, but also I feel like they were trying. Man, there's a certain thing that comes out of Floyd's mouth that I was like, oh my God, like, wow, that was really revolting.
Floyd said some real gross stuff in this episode.
My God.
Real gross
And then
stuff.
What I like though is Shirley takes it and runs with it, right? And so the women crack off and they're basically like, "Fuck you! If you have a penis, you're staying out here. We're going over here." And they go and have
Very
the little
weird.
girls thing with the serial killer wine. And Shirley makes a great comment like, what does she say? Like sometimes even the most loyal bears have to have their honey taken away or something like that. Like,
Yeah, something like that.
and she's like, I was a woman longer than I was a wife. I love that line. But she's really just wooing them, right?
Yeah. Her and Floyd had a look
Yes, they
before
knew
she
what they were
went
doing.
with
Divide
them.
and conquer.
Like they didn't quite wink at each other, but they they had a communicative look. And yeah, they were both playing their respective groups.
And so it's so interesting because, and the editing was really, really well done. But and okay, so one of you are going to have to help me because I didn't get a good second viewing.
Okay.
But there's a whole thing with the men where like, what's his fucking name? Missy, your suspect.
Blake, Andy.
Andy is staring at Floyd, and Floyd's like, "You stare any longer, I'm going to charge you admission." And he's like, "I know it's you." And then
Mm-hmm.
there's a skirmish that happens, and Floyd's shirt comes up, and they see the fucking cut on his back.
Yeah.
And then it's like, now it's like, I know it's you. There's no fucking doubt. And Floyd even gets like, you can tell he's on the defense. He's very like, oh, and they're editing it against what is it they're editing against with the women? Because it works really well. Is it the tarot reading?
Yes, it's on the
The
TV.
tarot reading and sitting around drinking the serial killer wine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Talk about the factions and how this, like how you perceive. What did you guys get from this?
Well, my initial thought was I thought it was kind of cool how they were doing it because they were kind of doing like the girls were having a slumber party and the guys getting a bar fight down in
Yeah, basically, yeah.
the motel bar.
No, I just didn't like the way they set it up. I didn't the men versus women thing felt like it came out of freaking nowhere, just like out of nowhere to me. And I felt like they could have probably set up a guys versus girls without there being weird tension between the two groups. I don't know. It was just a very strange way to set it up for me. But once they split them up, I like that, except for the fact that the stuff going on in the bar and what happens later on with Adriana doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Like they all turn on Adriana, but they've just figured out Floyd is the fucking killer. Why are you not? Why do they go super extra hard on Adriana? When
So that is well, okay, because she kills Jay. So the other thing that happens is the driver shows back up, right? So the episode starts with like a slasher point of view from outside. So it's a total red herring because you start from that, and then you go inside and you see all six remaining people, and you're like, oh fuck! So there's another person, and then the other person
new
turns out to be the
person.
driver, right? Which is so the fact that she shoots him totally accidentally. And I feel like you're actually, Jessica, you're right. I hadn't thought about this before, but it makes no sense because Andy should totally have been like, hey, I don't give a fuck that she just shot that guy because clearly that was unintentional, right? She was aiming for somebody in the room. And I know, like, he knows.
We don't know. We still don't know who the third Baphomet is. You think it's Blake. I think it's Andy.
I think it's Paige.
And now I'm kind of split between Paige and Andy because of what goes on with the cards.
There's compelling evidence for Paige in this episode
In
for
this
sure.
episode.
I've seen a theory online that it's both Paige and Andy. So that kind of maybe could track too.
Could.
I feel like that would just be spitting in my face, in my theory.
I know, right?
You're not wrong though in your reasoning because they did have her directly saying, "I used to like you," like reminding us about that. So they
well, and It's the way she says it because she's like, "Does that make you a killer?" And then he laughs. He literally fucking laughs because it's like, yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just
See, I still don't think it's him. In fact, there's a point where he very convincingly almost has a panic attack, and it felt real to me. And his hysteria is growing, but I don't know. We'll find out.
we will.
But what I was saying was Blake. All right, so Blake and Andy, one of them we think is the other Baphomet. So one of them now knows it's Floyd, but the other person wouldn't.
Okay, so wait, when did Floyd get the cut on his back?
When he was fighting with the other Baphomet.
Okay. Oh, that's
So one
interesting.
of them would
That's
know and one of
interesting.
them doesn't.
So Andy knows.
If Andy is the other one, then Blake is just hysterical, but Andy would know. If it's Blake, then it would be the other way around.
So man, and again, this writing, it's like it's almost cheating. It's and it, like it. I could actually see a point now where it might like piss me off because
Oh, but they're making everybody look guilty. They're giving you.
they are, but so that's a really good point because it is the other Baphomet is the only one that knows that he cut Baphomet B is the only one that knows he cut Baphomet A, who is Floyd,
Right.
cut him in the back. And Andy is one, as soon as he sees that, he's like,
But that's why he wouldn't say anything because Baphomet B would not want to announce who he is. He's the
oh,
only one
see,
who would know.
I'm still sticking with Blake. I gotta put my money down. But man, there's oh, it's wow.
But the thing with Paige is that Shirley does a tarot reading for Adriana, and the final card that she gets is the Hanged Man. She is, when they find her body, she is posed like the Hanged Man, and the only people who know she got that card is Paige or
Paige or
Shirley.
Shirley. So Kirsten's right away was like, so before that she positions the corpse as the hangman. So right when that Baphomet, Adriana's tied up. Right when that Baphomet comes out, she says, "That's Shirley." I was like, "How?" She's like, "Look at how tall she is."
Oh,
And she's
see,
and she's not right yet. And that's Kirsten's specialty, right? Like she
yeah,
picks up
yeah,
that
she's
shit,
so
and
good
I'm
at
like,
that.
I never would have seen that. Never would have seen that in a million years.
I had the exact same feeling, but it wasn't I don't ever pay attention to the size of the person because I figure it's a stunt double. I figure
Yeah,
they know.
that's exactly. Yep.
But my gut told me, oh, that's got to be Shirley. Does she? Because my
Okay.
second thought was, does she ever put the costume on? But my gut told me that was Shirley killing her.
So unless it's Paige, it could also be Paige.
True, but it just felt like Shirley.
Whoever it is too must have done their research because the when we get the flashback with Adriana and Wyatt, and we see when she brings up the name of the woman that cheated on him, we get a flash from him of him killing her with the bag. And then Adriana is
Oh,
so the Baphomet that killed her the way Wyatt, who was her first serial killer, killed his ex or wife or whatever, the woman who cheated on him.
I
Did
missed that
Um,
100%.
and then she is posed like the Hanged
would
Man.
would Shirley and Floyd have done any kind of research on them? Or did they just stumble in? Like knowing there were going to be people there, knowing how many there were going to be. Because
That's my knee jerk reaction.
that sounds like the kind of thing that Baphomet B would have done.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think I do too.
Maybe it was Paige. It just
I mean,
the person felt small. They just did, and it
But our
felt.
Paige and Shirley, I think they're about the same height.
But
Yeah.
they're small compared to like Adriana. Like Adriana next to one of those men is going to look a lot smaller. Baphomet looked closer to Adriana's size than Amanda.
Yes.
Okay.
It just gave me female. I cannot fully explain why.
There is compelling. There's a lot of there's increasing amounts of compelling. I don't know if it's evidence, but
So,
like vibe that it's Paige.
well, when Shirley does the reading too, Paige declines. She says because she believes in it and she doesn't want a reading at the murder motel. But as the cards are being flipped for Adriana, Paige, you can see Paige in the background like smiling.
You can just imagine the three of us have absorbed many horror tropes, right? And it's just like you can just imagine the down on her luck Scream Queen having some reason for being Baphomet B, right? Like it's so like you can manifest it in your mind very easily, or at least I can. Man, they have just done, but almost so much that it seems so obvious, right? Like
There's a
there's
bunch
so
of them that seem obvious, and they're all working at the same time, and they're all plausible,
yeah,
Right.
and that's
which is
incredibly
what
impressive.
it's incredibly impressive, but it also might end up being annoying because like at some point, like if it, you know, I don't know if you is it skill or is it I don't know what's to make everybody equally suspect.
I
I don't
would
know.
say, having done this a couple of times, I would say, because I would pick, like when I did Taste Like Candy. Taste Like Candy is 8 girls in a carnival, and somebody's killing somebody, and it's pretty obvious it's one of them, and you don't know who it is. So I had to make almost every single one of those girls look like the killer. I had to
Yeah.
include, and I had to make it be plausible, and I had to give like reasons why, give them suspicious things happening, have other people say weird, ominous things about them. And then I added in, I had a waitress that I made a red herring. I
Oh,
had
the waitress is the
that I
best
made.
one. The waitress is the. I was just thinking of her. I forget her name. She's the best red herring in the book.
I really wish I hadn't spoiled that one in case anybody wants to read it. But it's
Oh fuck! Wait, we're
um,
cutting this out. We're cutting
no,
this
don't
out.
cut it out. Don't cut it out. Don't cut it out. Don't cut it out. This has value, I swear. But so you have to pick each character. So they would have constructed a backstory for each and every one of these characters, and they would know that they were looking to make them each seem suspicious. And obviously, they intentionally chose a bunch of tropes. We got our slut, we got our virgin scream queen. Even if she's
Yeah.
not, she kind of is. We have the smart guy, we have the frat guy, like we have all of the tropes. So all you have to do is say, why would the frat guy kill everybody? Why would the scream queen kill everybody? And then you just kind of figure out a way to make all of that work. So maybe it's coming off as more impressive because it's on a week by week basis. Because in general, that's how you're writing a slasher anyway. I don't know. It makes sense to me that they're doing it very well, which means they know what they're doing. A lot of
Yes.
people making slashers do not know what they are doing. They think they do, but they don't. I think these people know. But I also think, because I was never really invested in a theory, kind of like you guys were. Usually, whenever I do stuff like this, I don't go online and see what people are saying. This one, since I wasn't invested in a theory, I have been.
Uh-huh.
And I think a lot of people are kind of not happy with it because it feels like they're intentionally omitting information to make people look guilty.
I don't
For
feel like that at
instance,
all. What are they
I
omitting?
don't either. I don't either. But
I don't either.
I think one of the things somebody pointed out is that for Adriana and the tarot card and the Hangman tarot card, if it's not one of the women, then Shirley would have had to tell Floyd or whatever behind the scenes, we didn't see that, so that's cheating. I think that's the kind of thing people are saying, because we're seeing things in one episode and then we're seeing something else that kind of contradicts that in another one, and we're kind of being fed small amount. I think that they also want more information on every single character, as opposed to, this is Adriana's episode, we're going to do a flashback on her and then she's going to die. It really
I,
feels like a reality show.
it does, and I will say I was surprised that like I mean maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't feel like we got that as much backstory for Adriana if this was her episode that we did for some of the other people. But actually, we probably did. Um, I don't know.
They're
It's
trickling it. I personally don't have a problem with this. But they are trickling it in at a very slow rate for some of these characters. So it almost seems like they don't like we don't really know anything about Paige. Like we know a little about
no.
Paige. We don't really know anything about
Mhm.
Paige. And I think one of the theories is that Paige might be what is the name of the woman she played in the movie that was murdered?
Oh,
Caitlin
Caitlin.
something.
Caitlin. The theory is that maybe she was Caitlin's daughter from her first marriage, and she somehow ended up in these movies playing her mom secretly, kind of whatever. And now she's, come back for revenge now that she's being replaced or whatever. Like, I think that we don't have enough information, but people are cooking up these kind of theories, and
Mhm.
they're mad that they're not getting enough about certain people to feed the theories.
I definitely don't buy that because I feel like they're
Yeah.
giving out information each episode, and I mean, how I don't know how much faster could they give it out?
No, I mean, I don't. I think early on it was also like you knew it wasn't going to be Kawaiian, so you knew he was going to die, so it didn't matter what they told us about him. You know that kind of.
Yeah,
Right.
There were
But
definitely
like,
some people like you knew they were going to die soon.
but then there's some like the people you really want. Like, I want to know about Andy. We don't know hardly anything about him.
we know
I
nothing about
Yeah.
him.
right. I want to know. I want to know about him. We all want to know Blake's backstory.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's only 8 episodes. I think they're doing it pretty well for it. I mean, they're taking a basic slasher formula and they're stretching it out. And each episode, we're getting kind of like a focus on one person.
I still really don't. They really could have done something more with Andy because I don't, other than him being an academic,
Well,
I don't.
like, maybe he's an academic of the occult.
Well, yeah, that's right. But they're not really giving us. They're not giving us anything to pull that thread on. Like some of the stuff that
Right.
your theory is based on other things, like other people have said, like the ghost on the with the salvia saying Andro. Like
Mm.
Andy
Yeah.
himself, they're not giving him a whole lot to do. He's just kind of there, unless my brain is just not recording him because.
No, no, you're right. He is the most invisible cast member.
So then if he turns out to be a killer, that's.
But there are 3 episodes left and there are 3 people
True.
left.
True.
yes, so I was just going to say, so it looks by my count as who we have left is Shirley and Floyd, Andy, Blake, Page.
Yeah.
So 3 episodes, 3 people. So that makes sense. I think the next episode then is really going to be the one of the. I mean, it won't ultimately decide it, but I mean, between the three of us, I feel like okay, even they're all three of those people are contenders. So
Yeah.
whoever dies next is really gonna change
Oh,
things.
yeah, for sure. But also, like, if it did turn out to be like Paige and Andy working together, then it's 2 couples.
Mm-hmm.
Each Baphomet A and Baphomet B would each one is a couple.
Mm-hmm.
But I see, I can't buy that because the way that their Andy and Paige's first interaction in the first episode, where she goes to that room and he kind of comes in, and it feels like a meeting. Like there's kind of like a hey, hey, are you okay? Like they're sussing each other out a little bit. Like it doesn't. There was nobody else present. There would be no reason for that to have had that kind of vibe to that exchange, other than that. Then I would be pissed because I'd be like, okay, well, that was for our benefit to mislead us, and I would be pissed off. That's like some Black Coat's daughter shit, where I'm like, yeah, no.
I don't know if it's as bad as that.
No, it's
I'm still
not. But
that
it would
Black Coat's
be.
daughter thing.
Okay, Jessica
It
hasn't seen
pisses
it.
me
No
off.
spoilies. No spoilies.
Okay,
No,
we
no
won't.
spoilies. No
No, it's just
spoilies.
we
You
weren't
owe it
going
to
to.
yourself
There,
to see that movie, though. Mainly, well, I say you owe it to yourself, but I really mean because I would love to hear your opinion on it because
think you. I don't think you'd like it. It's
it's a good movie, except for
Boring? Is it boring?
no,
it's
it's a good
boring.
movie. It's a good
It's
movie,
slow.
except for the bullshit where you're like, you can't do that. Oz, bro, you can't do that. Like,
Yeah, it's a
you can't
cheaty
do
thing.
that.
That's the thing. It's a cheaty thing that
But
pisses us
people
both
fucking
off.
love that movie. And I'm always just like, really? You love that movie?
Really?
Because I feel like, yeah, people love that fucking
Yeah,
movie. And
people
I'm
love
like,
that movie. That's why it's on my list. Is I've seen it, but I knew it was a slow burn. But I almost watched it after I saw the monkey. Like I was almost
Okay.
there, but I didn't do it because I knew I would fall asleep.
See,
it,
the first time I tried to watch it, it did put me to sleep. Then I tried it
it's,
again, and it's slow. It does pick up in the middle. I thought it would have a good payoff, and then the payoff pisses me off because it cheats. But either way, I don't think this is. It's not. It's not cheating like that.
no, it's not. But I don't know. I don't know
I
how we
will
got
say
there,
this.
but
I will say this. If somebody is out there doing research on these people, it's a lot easier for me to see it being an academic or a crazy bitch than it is to me seeing the frat boy doing that.
yeah, it's true. It's true. I don't know. Something about my gut says Blake. Ah.
Huh?
I feel like it's like betting ponies.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Three people,
like,
three different theories.
like there's almost no at this point. There's almost like it's just you can throw any rational at me. I'm like, nope, put my money on Blake.
And see, I would
Ah,
bet because it could be it's literally the it's convincing for any of them.
yeah, I wouldn't bet either because it is, and I mean
Yeah.
Andy being so like we know nothing,
Hmm.
like nothing.
Well, and then the end fucks with you because all right, they lock Adriana out in the shed, and some time passes, and Paige goes to Andy, and in the middle of the night, and says,
Can we
and
check
wakes
on
him up,
her?
and I'm worried about him. I'm worried about her, blah blah blah, and then he suggests, "Oh, we should go check on him," which
Yeah.
makes them both look fucking guilty because it's
Yep.
like either
Oh
way,
yeah.
it's
Big
like,
time.
You know what else though? That story about it being her mom, blah blah blah, that doesn't even have to come into play because she could just be doing this as like a Scream type of thing where she
mhm.
Yeah.
goes and then suffers and then she gets to play herself in the reboot, like that kind of thing.
Yep.
That's also a possibility. This is good.
It is. It
Right.
really is.
But I don't understand what Andy's motive would be.
Yeah.
But we haven't gotten any
Well,
pieces of him yet, and
so,
Right.
I mean,
eh, well, actually, so you know what? What you just said, Jessica, makes that almost sways me to the Andy argument because what what would his motive be? He's an academic. He knows this is whatever. Like Shirley has a very academic approach to Satanism, and obviously whoever is on the other end is basically figured out probably the same shit she's figured out
Mhm.
as far as like doing this ritual, bringing about like the manifestation of Baphomet. And I still want
mhm.
motherfucking Baphomet. I want Baphomet
Mhm.
C, the real Baphomet. That's oh man, that would just be so fucking awesome.
Well, and Shirley though, she's so manipulative. Like when she does the reading, I'm still up in the air whether like it was a true reading or if Shirley did something to stack the deck.
Oh,
I
and
mean,
I
because the
meant to
cards are
write the
right
card.
fucking on. Oh, I wrote them down. I
What
wrote them
were they?
down.
I know there was like 10 of Swords, right?
Yeah. Um. Now I. It didn't look like she was doing any particular spread. She was just kind of laying them out, from what I
No, in
could
fact, doesn't
tell.
she then start over? Like she like they draw
Yeah.
three and then she draws like
Like
another three.
yeah. She. All right. So when they do it, it's the Four of Wands, the Three of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. Those are the first four cards.
It's a lot of
And
fucking swords, man. That's a
it's a
lot
lot
of
of fucking swords.
conflict.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of
And
conflict.
and then Shirley suggested, oh, we could start over, and Adriana says, well, isn't that kind of
It's
cheating? And
cheating.
but then Shirley picks up all the cards. Like she picks the cards up anyways. And then the cards that come up are the Tower, Judgment, Death, and the Hanged Man,
Yeah, that's right.
in that order.
So okay, so that's interesting. Like, I mean, the swords are all conflict. Uh, Four
Missy,
Wands.
you watched that scene pretty closely a couple times, right?
Uh twice.
Were you
Twice.
watching to see if Shirley did anything, or if they didn't give even the slightest clue, it's not fair if she.
I don't know because I was really hyper focused on themselves.
Okay. I'm gonna rewind it and
Be-
kind of.
okay, yeah, I wasn't necessarily watching Shirley. I was watching the cards because I know the cards. But yeah, it's lots of conflict because if we break it down, I mean the Four of Wands initially balance, happy,
Will. So balanced will.
balanced will. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. The next card was the Three of Swords, which is usually heartbreak, tragedy.
What's the perfection of two offset by one? And then we what? So then ten of swords. So is that ruin?
Ruin. Yeah, ruin, or like the end of a cycle,
Yeah.
closure.
And seven of swords. I always associate seven with victory because of Netzach on the Tree of Life, but
Okay. I usually associate the seven with like treachery.
let's see. Futility, difficult decisions to make. Action pure and with resolve breaks the will of this card. Action is futility's nemesis. Stick to it. It's just my own
Okay,
notes.
okay. Well, because the Rider Waite card, it's the man he's stealing the swords.
Oh, okay, okay.
I forget that you think more in Thoth, and I
Yeah,
usually think Rider Waite, but either way works. But then when she picks him up, then we get the Tower, which is always chaotic and tumultuous, and usually something you have to face, and it
yeah.
won't be and it won't be fun.
And what is ascending order here too? We've got Tower, Judgment, Death, and Hangman. Like,
Yeah,
holy shit.
right. So it's like either it's right on or she's playing her. But I mean, I think it was a real reading. I don't think she stacked the deck, but it was just like a thought.
Well, and I don't think she stacked the deck because it makes sense that it would align because Shirley is tapped into occult frequencies, right? So it
Hmm.
just it
And
just makes
she's
sense.
and she's in this place. She's in the murder motel that is over ley lines that led them there to begin with. Because that's what Shirley said in the
Yeah, the
Shirley
last
Floyd
episode, the ley
background.
lines.
Right. So after the Tower, we got, yeah, Judgment. That's usually like some kind of rite of passage, or in this case, I guess death is literal, but usually it
Yeah,
just
I
means
mean, I think of
change.
it as change more than
I
anything
do
else,
too. I
but I
think of
mean,
it
it
as
can be
change,
literal.
but in horror movies, often if you get the death card, it actually literally means death.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of a cliche at this point. If somebody, I knew they
Yeah,
were pull the death card. If there are tarot cards in a TV show or a movie, the death card is getting pulled,
Right.
or the devil, one of the two.
yeah.
Hmm.
Which also doesn't mean what it.
What
I mean,
people, yeah,
you can always cull a surface meaning from a card. That's not, not allowed. It's just
there's more going on. And then the last one was the Hanged Man, which is generally sacrifice, surrender, uh, a change in perspective.
Well, and so the position of the hangman, the 4 points over one. So if you think about
The triangle, the way his leg is.
yes, exactly. Reason triumphs over spirituality. Dark ages begin historically, or dreams are brought low by modern rationality. So I don't know how any of that fucking fits into this, other than the bitch is dead. She's hanging upside down with a fucking bloody bag on her head.
Change in perspective.
Yeah, for her, for sure. Are there any other? I thought it was interesting they brought the driver in, and you knew the minute he showed up, he was dead, right? Because
Right.
at this point, it's just fodder, right? They were treading water.
Wait, is he the driver from the beginning, or I thought he was just a driver that crashed? And
No, he's a driver from the beginning because he's like, you know me.
okay, okay, I do remember him saying that, and I didn't. I'm thinking, no, we don't.
I didn't. I knew who it was, but I don't remember him at all. Like he was so a non-entity. But I was like, okay, it must be the driver. And then he's like, you know me, you know me.
I don't remember him at all either.
I forget how much time has passed, but it really took that. Like, I guess if they're that far out there, I don't. Although that even that's weird. Like,
Well, and
so
there was a storm, and he got in an accident.
how many days have they been there? I don't know if do either of you know?
Oh, I don't think it's many.
I thought it was only like two night. This is
Okay,
night two, because on night
okay,
one is when Portia gets killed,
yeah,
and
okay,
then this
that
is
makes
night
sense.
two.
So he leaves when he drops them off at the beginning, and then so that means what 30 something hours later
Yeah, this is the next day then.
he returns. That's a little bit of a weird timeline, like even if it took him 15 hours to walk back, just based on somebody said in the previous episode, if we were to go to town it would take 15 hours or something like that.
But didn't he say he hit a tree?
He
Like
did,
he
but
could have been
maybe he
out
was
for a
unconscious.
bit.
He had
Yeah,
glass
Right.
maybe he was
in his
unconscious.
head.
There, okay,
He had
okay, that
glass
makes
in his
sense.
face. So I mean,
Yeah.
there was a bad storm. He got in an accident and hit a tree. I
Okay, that
thought he
makes
said
sense.
that's why he had the
Yeah, that's
glass in
what he
his face.
said.
So
Yeah.
he could have been passed out for hours. Who knows?
Okay, that makes sense. Um, but do you either of you? Is there? I don't. Is there anybody else they can bring back like that? I don't think so. I think that's it. Right? We're at the limitations of the cast at this point.
Yeah, I don't believe there's anybody else. They would be if they brought somebody that would feel like cheating if some random person popped up and was like, haha, it was me all along. Like that'd be
Yeah,
strange.
that would
Right.
totally be cheating.
I don't know if this is spoilers, but were you aware that Wyatt was in a previous season? Like the character?
Really?
Oh,
Yes.
no, because I've only watched the Flesh and Blood
Yeah.
season,
Yeah,
and
he was.
he hasn't. But I
I don't
think I
know.
read that this is like it operates like American Horror Story, where they have
Yeah.
like they reuse their actors.
No. This is literally the same character. It's the same
Oh,
actor, but it's also the same character. He's the killer in another season.
oh no, I didn't know that. But
Yes.
I'm gonna dig into more of them. So
Well, he's
don't tell me anymore.
okay.
Well, we have 3 episodes left and
And
three
three
cast
suspects.
members left. Yeah, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think this has been one of the funnest horror events we've had this summer.
I think so. It's certainly getting stretched out longer than some of the others.
Yeah. Okay, well, so that's episode 5, Jailbait. Hell Motel. We'll be back next week for episode 6. As a Horror Vision Slasher Party. Go pre-order Jessica's book right now. So Jessica, what is your Instagram?
My Instagram is Blood and Lacy, and Lacy's Lacy, like my last name.
You just posted. I just saw you posted. There's a you have a code for like a pre-order at Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble is doing a sale on pre-orders right now. Probably by the time this comes out, it'll be over because I think it expires on Friday. I didn't
I'll
know
try to
anything
have this
about
out
it.
tomorrow.
Nobody told me anything about it, so I didn't know anything about it. But if it is out tomorrow, it's through Friday, July the 11th. But otherwise, Tastes Like Candy can be purchased, pre-ordered anywhere right now. It is out September 9th. That is when it will be available.
That is literally 2 months from now.
Yeah, I know. And you can also request it at your library.
Fuck yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. That's so awesome. So if you're listening, go pre-order Barnes and Noble. Go follow Jessica on Instagram. And we'll see you back here next week for episode 6. I'm Sean.
I'm Missy.
Jessica, thank you again. And we'll see you for Slasher Party.
Hapless teenagers beset by demons in the woods. A strange new drug that turns art into murder. A can't beat a deal on a new house with a horrifying past. A video game that might usher in the apocalypse. From the demented mind of Sean C. Baker, author of a collection of desires, Shadow Play, and Murder Virus, comes Volume 4, collecting Baker's no sleep work along with several never-before published short stories. This 99-cent volume also includes the opening chapter of the author's forthcoming teenage giallo novel, Black Gloves and Broken Hearts, due out later this year.